right. Episode 13.
Hi, everyone.
Lucky number 13.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Is this
Wait, that's kind of funny about what we're going to talk about, too.
Yeah, it is, actually. That is interesting. That's creepy. I feel like this is starting to feel more natural.
Yeah.
Chatting.
I do, too. We, again, didn't call each other this morning.
We did not. Our strategy of not talking so that when we sit down, we have a lot to catch up on.
We do. Sister chat.
Sister chat. Exactly. So today's a true sister chat because we had a guest last week, and which that episode is now trending to be our most listened to.
It is.
With
I've
Dr.
just
Robbins.
Looked this morning.
I know.
It's going crazy. I guess it shows how much people really want to hear about that topic.
Yes, exactly. And we were also saying that, like, you know, we had 3 people, so like Kaki didn't talk as much, and but I was saying that I think that's good. I feel like we wanted all of that info.
Well, she shared a lot, and
yes.
I was very impressed with how much she shared because obviously it's her practice and her business. So
and it
was very helpful.
So it was so helpful. I feel like I took a lot of mental notes and learned a lot myself.
Right.
So,
yeah. I know. I actually listened again this morning just to get into podcast
mode. Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot we talked about that. So I have to remember everything we talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen to it again.
Still little things that we can go back and reference.
Right.
Okay. So I love doing this every week. I feel like it's so much fun. And there's always some sort of weird story that happens or I don't know.
Of course.
I know. And I was thinking today about like cringe stories, like when something happens and then all day the next day you're like, oh, why did I say that?
Or even like 10 years later, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh no, I wonder what that person actually thought and still thinks.
I hate that so much. And it just pops into your memory. Because I had a moment like that last night and I somewhat told you about it today, but I ran into a really old friend from like years ago, and he happens to be a really successful business owner, entrepreneur. So I got a little like starstruck, I would say, even though I've known him since we were like 22 in New York. Actually, since college,
since before entrepreneurship,
way before. And I said hi, and we, caught up for a very brief moment. And then as we were separating, I was like, wait, I really want to stay in touch with him because he's this successful guy. And I said, I'll find you on LinkedIn.
But where were you? You have to say where you were.
We were in a co-ed bathroom in the basement of a restaurant. And it was very uncomfortable and awkward. And the whole thing was awkward. And now I just feel...
I'll find you on LinkedIn.
I feel so uncomfortable.
And the best was a quote from your friend being like,
who says that? Yeah, my girlfriend was in one of the bathroom stalls overhearing this conversation, and all of a sudden she chimed in out of nowhere and goes, who says that? Which then made me laugh even harder. And I feel very uncomfortable about how I approached that conversation.
Now I think you need to find him on LinkedIn.
I think I do.
That whole story with him.
Now I have to. I said I would, and now I have to, and it's even more awkward. Anyway, so is that a weird thing to say? Like, what do you think?
I don't know. I was thinking about it and just the different perspectives. Because we are on LinkedIn a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I find myself.
I go on it every day.
Me too.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas like someone who maybe is not working doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't use it at all.
Yeah. No,
so
why would you go on if you weren't?
I think it was just a different.
I think it was.
I didn't think it was as weird, but Megan,
I'm
sorry to say a name, but from the stall being like, I'll find you on LinkedIn. Who says that? That's hilarious to me.
I know. Anyway, it was so, and it just was like one of those very uncomfortable moments where I was like, oh shoot, why did I say that? And then this morning I woke up with that, and this is going to be one of those things now where I'm going to think about it and be cringeworthy. It's going to be cringy. So it's a good question. Like, what do you say to somebody that you don't want to exchange phone numbers with, or, you don't have time because you're in the bathroom, like you're going. I'll find you on Instagram. I don't know. I find
that even
weirder. Yeah.
Like LinkedIn is something to connect people.
Right. Yes.
I mean, Instagram is
like
too,
a professional thing.
Instagram is more stalkerish to me than LinkedIn is.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's good you said that. Like, just cut the chase.
Yeah, like I don't want to
know that we're doing this.
Yes.
Like, it's like when you haven't seen someone in 5 years and you're like, I actually know all about your life because I follow you on Instagram.
Yes, I do follow, and I followed his whole story. And
so just cut to the chase.
Yeah, just get, I gotta, So then it actually goes back to, I was thinking about this, like the let them theory. Like, Mel Robbins. I was like, I just need to let him think what he thinks about me.
Yeah, that's right.
And move on.
Yes.
Move on entirely. Yeah. So applying the let them theory.
But now I think that when you reach out to him, you have something funny to talk about. So it's like a connecting thing.
Yes, exactly.
Whatever. It's a little humbling.
He saw me laughing with my girlfriend, like having a self-deprecating moment of like, who does say that? And so hopefully it's a funny story to him too.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was an uncomfortable story from last night. Anyway, so did you add a note here or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what I was going to say next. Another cringe story. Oh my gosh. Okay. Another.
So cringy, you blacked it out of your memory?
So cringy I did. And it was an Instagram story I uploaded like a few days ago.
Yeah.
And it was a mirror selfie of wearing a Dudley Stevens tote, this new tote we have coming out. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to a podcast in my headset that was the Foster sisters, Sarah and Aaron Foster, interviewing Kim Kardashian.
Oh yeah, I have that on my list to listen to.
It's very good.
Okay.
And it was the clip where one of the Foster sisters is introducing Kim Kardashian, and she's saying about Kim, like reading her bio, she's a billionaire. And that came onto the story, and I didn't mute the clip. So it recorded the podcast, and it looked like I was uploading a story saying about myself that I'm a billionaire.
Maybe not in money, but in other things. Happiness.
And I did it. It was up for like 10 hours. So
that's too funny.
If you saw that story and thought that's what I meant to put as the audio, I did not mean to do that. And I really need to double check my Instagram stories.
That's so funny.
I'm not a billionaire. And I'm really embarrassed.
I don't know. This is funny. I mean, yesterday we had a meeting with a potential like collab person that we're working with for a 10-year anniversary. And
so
Lauren was quickly jotting down notes, right? And all of a sudden I like reread them. She sent them on Slack to our team. She sent them to our PR agency. And one of the quotes just said, "Park Slope, Park Slope." I was like,
very
what does that mean?
Diligent note taking.
But I was thinking about it. I was like, you do things, and this is the difference between you and me. Like when you think of something, you do it. Right. And like sometimes you rush to get things done.
Yes.
But it's good. Like I think that's a good thing. It doesn't matter if there's mistakes. At least you're just doing it on paper. Just get it on paper. Just do it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think it's a good thing to have.
I don't overthink.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I don't even think. Maybe I should start thinking. This is very good session right now, therapy session. No, you're right. I do just kind of like get it out there and then fix it later. Like,
I think that especially as an entrepreneur, you need to have that characteristic.
We were just talking with a gentleman who helps us and set the podcast up and like how people are interested in entrepreneurship. So I'm glad you brought that up because I think like we should reference that more.
I know
like,
we do. Well, I mean, one of the reasons we started this is to kind of talk about
entrepreneurship
behind the scenes a little bit about us and like our what was a side hustle that turned into a company. So
I know. So
I agree.
That's one good thing to do is just get it out there in the universe, and it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah. Even if you have a random podcast recording in the background, that's
right.
A little embarrassing.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So today the subject of our conversation, and I'll just talk about it quickly now, but it's the grass is not always greener with a question mark, because I feel like that's just been on my mind. And I love trying to be candid and honest in this conversation and like what's going on in our week. And that's just been something I've been thinking about a lot.
And it comes at a funny time of the year. I feel like in January, we're like, it's a new year. We have all these resolutions. Everything's going great.
Yeah.
And then part of entrepreneurship is the roller coaster effect, right?
Exactly.
Like, so we're up on a high and then something happens and we're like, okay, we got to get through this. What can we do here to learn, to problem solve and get through this?
Exactly.
Exactly. Point of time.
So that's been on our minds. So, but first let's talk about the drop this week. Last week, because this will air next Monday. Mm-hmm. So our waffle drop this week, the Lena, I think was the best seller, which is our waffle turtleneck with the tie at the waist. And I can't stop wearing it. I love it. I think it's a really good style.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
But you haven't gotten it yet?
Yeah, I got it in cream.
Good.
And I'm going to love it.
Yes,
but
it's great.
I'm also very excited about the Twilight
waffle
the joggers.
Yes, they're
I got
so
them in
comfy.
black, which I'm not normally a black like clothing person.
Yep.
I like colors.
Yeah. Hence today.
My hydrangea print today.
Yep.
And yesterday I wore pink. I'm like ready for spring. But for some reason, the black in the waffle the so joggers and Saratoga top was really drawing me.
Yeah. You're going to love them. They're so comfortable.
I want to get one of those just like plain black baseball hats too.
Oh, yeah.
We had that in the
email. Photo. Yeah. Yes. I know that was, you're influenced. I thought that was a really cool look. I love that. And also the waffle to me, like I wanted to talk about the fabric a little bit because it's almost like silky. It's so good. Yeah. And it's so like durable and just washes so well. And it's doing so well for us. And I'm so into it. So if you're listening to this and you haven't tried the waffle, I highly recommend starting with the Lena. It's such a good, versatile
good one.
top.
I feel like it's really versatile too. Like you can wear it with leggings. You can dress it up a little bit.
Definitely. It has little gold
favorite thing.
Yeah, exactly. It has little gold details on the string, on the drawstring. And it's all these things are perfect for throwing on. Like Monday night, I was out doing pickups at 8 p.m. and like wearing those joggers was like just so comfortable Monday night. It was so nice. So perfect for mom life.
And also it's all different kind of climates too. Like if you're in a warmer climate in Florida or
it's not as
the
hot.
South, it's not as hot as maybe our Sherpa fleeces.
It's going to be perfect for those like 50 to 60 degree days. So good. And our Sabrina that you wore yesterday is almost sold out in pink and cream. That's such a cute style with the puff sleeve. Cute. So another option if you want like a shorter fitting pullover. And it looked so cute yesterday on you. Okay, and then next week, so tomorrow.
Sorry, before you move on, can we point out what you're wearing again today?
Oh my God. I'm wearing the Catalina jacket again. Actually, I'm glad you just flagged that because, first of all, I can't stop wearing it. And one of my best friends also told me she can't stop wearing it. And I just want people to try it so badly. So here I am telling you to try this jacket. But someone, a follower and a customer tagged us in stories and we reposted it this morning. And she said headed to Congress. So she must be in DC. Maybe she works there. And she was wearing this exact Catalina over a black and white dress. And she looked so chic and so cute. And I mean, major goals, but there was like that Tucker Nuck shift dress that had a moment and it went viral in DC.
Yes, in DC.
And like everyone on both sides was wearing it, like
so
everywhere.
We're putting this out there.
So I'm going to put it out in the universe that this could become the next DC ladies in Congress viral jacket.
Yeah.
Anyway, major goals, but it is just such a good layer. And this you could wear till it's 50 degrees. You could wear it all till May.
I don't want to compare it to the Midtown uniform for men, but it kind of could be that.
Oh my God. It's the Midtown ladies uniform. Elevated. And it's so much cooler.
Yeah, much cooler.
It is kind of like a vest.
It is a little bit.
It does serve that purpose, but it has sleeves.
It has sleeves. You can wear it over. I think it's much cooler than the Midtown uniform.
Agree.
But
but I love that
could
though.
Kind of be the same use.
Yes, same use, but we look chic, ladies. We're not wearing a fleece vest. Okay, I love that. Anyway, so thanks for pointing out that I'm wearing it for the millionth time. Okay, so this airs on February 10th. So tomorrow, February 11th, our Ingrid pullovers are dropping.
Oh my gosh.
Which I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
And the best thing about these is that we are pricing them well. And so scoop up 2 would be my advice. They have a collar, they fit right to hip length, and they have it's almost like a polo top, like a polo shirt top. Right. Really cute.
Yeah.
Very like in style right now, I would say.
Yes. I love it. Yeah. And we have it's navy and a stripe.
Cream, the stripe, the mariner stripe in navy and white. And then we have a gingham print that we are dropping. We have already dropped by the time this aired, and maybe it'll sell out, maybe it won't. I don't know. It's a limited edition, so we'll see. You never know.
If you're lucky enough to grab one,
this will be a good test.
For it.
Yeah. But those are in our terry fleece, which I also wanted to call out is just the best fabric and washes so well. I think it lasts I still have terry turtlenecks from years ago. All of our stuff lasts so long, but I just find that the terry is it's such good quality.
It is really good quality. And again, it's like a warmer climate.
Yes,
fleece.
Perfect. Yeah, for
so
those
good
transitional
for the transitional weather
fleeces.
This spring. I feel like we launch a lot of terry in the spring for that reason because it's like good to take you from winter to spring.
A friend of mine recently about all of our fabrics said the funniest thing. And it was that she was like, I really think that you guys should like source a lower quality fabric because they just last too long. And so people probably don't come by multiple things. And I was like, that's an interesting strategy. But, you know, I'm so glad you think that, you know, because she was like, my kids just grew out of their Dudley Stevens and I gave it to a friend of mine. Like you can just keep handing them down. And so
kind of
like
the opposite of what we're doing. We're like trying to make it better and better.
We're always trying to make it better. So that was just a funny story.
True.
Yeah, it does. It does so. It washes so well, and I don't know. We just love all the fabrics, and especially the terry. And I think those Ingrids are going to do well. They're so cute. So another thing, next thing on my list was just to remind everybody to rate and review us before we dive into our next topic, and also to send us guests. We've had some amazing suggestions.
Yeah,
and please suggest yourself too.
Right.
Like if you feel like, I don't know, anybody. Yeah. We have a few lined up. You were saying.
Lined up that I'm really excited to chat with. I think it just helps kind of provide a different perspective, whether it's a topic that maybe our customers really like, or it's like another person that started their own side hustle.
Yes. Entrepreneurship.
Yeah. So anyone
relevant
that you
topics
think of, let us know. And we'd love to chat with them.
And also people that are totally outside of the realm of like what we do. Cause one of our guests coming up kind of is, but also an entrepreneur. And it's like, so I'm so excited to talk to him about stuff. So anyway, send us your suggestions. Okay. So more funny stories from this week. I don't know. Do we have any? I don't think we do. I think that was it. I think we told it.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I know. I don't know. Not really. Like the cringy stories were just things I had to get off my chest. But no, we took our kids skiing on Sunday at Thunder Ridge. Someone asked where we take them for lessons.
Yeah.
You guys go to...
We have gone up to Southington, which is like very much a learner's mountain.
Yeah, that's
really
Thunder
good.
Ridge
Like
is. Yeah.
for our 4-year-old who went on the magic carpet.
Cute. Yeah.
It's a small mountain, as mentioned. So my older boys, I think, got a little bored of it because it's like the lines are long, the lifts aren't as quick.
Yeah, and then the runs are shorter.
You know, for the older kids, you might want to go a little bit further, but for the youngins,
it's good to learn. Yeah,
it's fun. Well, my middle child figured out that he could go up the magic carpet and then go the opposite way, and he found a little jump to go over.
Funny, yeah.
So he made his own little use of the mountain. So he just went over and over, like up the magic carpet, over the jump, and then back around.
That's
whereas
really cute.
My older one didn't want to do the jump, but it took him. Like my middle one got around the jump like 5 times by the time it took the older one to get down up the lift and down the mountain. So,
right. So
I don't know. They both had their own little ways to figure out the mountain, but
I
don't know.
No, it's good. I think
Southington Mohawk is another one we've never been to, but I've heard that's good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I went
this
there
is all
once.
in the tri-state area.
I know, all in the tri-state area, and it was fun. It's fun seeing the kids kind of get into it and hopefully learn how to ski because I'm scared to ski again. I don't know.
I am too.
I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to hurt myself.
Especially after talking about bone density and perimenopause and all this. I'm like, I don't think we're there
I don't
anymore.
know. And I'm like sad about that. But then I'm like, should I try? I don't know. Just to go with the kids, you know?
Just to have our kids like learn the foundations of it. We're not like that family that's going every weekend, but
same.
So that they can then go on ski trips with their friends when they get older. But
exactly.
You know, we're not going to be gung-ho skiers.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's a lot. It's expensive and it's time consuming. And getting those boots on my daughter Sunday was really challenging. I was sweating. We were fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, is this worth it? I don't know. But then they had so much fun.
Right.
So it ended up being worth it. But still, the jury's out on ski trips and like vacations and stuff. But our stuff is so like.
Well, we're going to Vermont together.
We are going to Vermont together
for a few nights,
and the kids will do ski school, and we will be operaing in our Dudley.
Yes,
and that's about it
all weekend.
I'm excited about that. That'll be really fun.
Although I've heard a lot of people going snowshoeing, which I was thinking that we should do one day.
Yeah. Wait, can you do that up where we're going?
Yeah.
Wait, we should definitely do that because I don't want to just I want to do something active so I don't feel like we're just sitting around eating all day.
I know. I agree.
I mean, I'm okay with doing that one day, but maybe one day we can do something.
All about balance.
Yeah. Wait, let's do snowshoeing. I love that idea.
Okay. In our fleece.
Yeah. Okay, we'll report back about that. See how that goes. That would be really fun. Okay. Okay, so we're, as of this episode airing, we also have started our warehouse sale where we're cleaning things out. So be sure to shop that. There's amazing prices amazing prices. Probably a lot of broken sizes, but
yeah, we have a lot of broken sizes. But so if you're an off size,
yeah,
you can get a very
check it
good
out.
deal.
Yes, like $59 and under for
Right.
things. So, and if you like, we still have, as we're saying, time in the season yet left. So like
Yeah.
skiing and, it's good. Get a black turtleneck for ski season.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, so check that out. Okay. So topic today, which I said earlier has been on my mind is the grass greener, and how do we as entrepreneurs manage that, and that feeling of like seeing all these other businesses out there, and, constantly people look like they're doing so well. And I blame social media.
Yeah.
For
more entrepreneurs need to podcast about this. So
yes.
Just like get the news
Yes.
out, get the info out there so that we can all learn from each other.
Yes, exactly. And to talk about, like you said earlier, the ups and downs and the highs and lows. Like everybody is going through the highs and lows.
Right.
There's no way you're not as a business owner. And so when you see these like glossy, beautiful Instagram things, which we do too, I'm not saying we're like, to posting everything that is bad on Instagram, but like, it's really hard to stay in that mindset and like keep, what does Dad say? Like stay the course. Does Dad say that? Or
yeah,
he does kind of like stay the course.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I sent you a
Yes.
story or something the other day that was all about how, and we started in this era too of like these millennial
brands,
right? That's what they called them. And
Yep.
how everything looked so pretty on Instagram, and everything was on brand.
Yep.
Everything had to be on brand. So you had like the dark background with the beautiful product overlays, and like everything had
probably
to
a millennial
match and be
pink.
on. Yeah, exactly.
Looped in there.
But then they were saying how all these brands started to do this, and then they all kind of, nothing stood out anymore.
Yes.
They all looked alike.
Mm-hmm. It's
And
so
so
true.
now, like, how do you break through that, and how do you
Become more authentic.
and
or
be more
something.
authentic? And I think they were saying like you have to kind of tell your story, which we've always wanted to do. We've always
Yes.
tried really hard to be that storytelling brand.
Yep.
And also like they were saying that entrepreneurs need to be a little bit more out there too.
Right. Which I think
which we're doing with the podcast.
Hello. This is what we're doing, the podcast. Yes. Like we have to be more the face.
Yeah.
Oof, which is
not
so
everyone
hard.
wants to do.
No. No.
We've struggled with it
We
in
have.
the past 10 years.
We've really struggled with it. It's really hard to put yourself out there and like be that face.
Yeah.
Because it's time consuming too when like there's so much else to do with the business. Like
yeah. And then you also put yourself out there. God forbid you say something that offends
Yeah.
someone, or, whatever it is.
yeah, you want to do the right thing by the brand and by your customers. And yeah, it's really hard. It's scary. It's really scary. But yeah, so and it's something that goes down to like personal lives too. Like, if you have a bad day or there's like a tough, day with the company and then you get bad news. Like I felt like one day last week, it was just like bad news after bad news, and so
how did that like trickle down to your family? Like I feel like also then it was like I was impatient with my kids, and then it was like
it's like everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
Like there's everything. I don't. And then you
go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. You just end the day now. I know, because then you go on Instagram and you see like so and so doing this or company whatever, and like, it's hard. It's a mental game. It really is a mental game. And I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that everyone has something going on, no matter who you are. And then it goes back to like the kindness lesson that we all learn is like treat someone as if, you don't know what's going on in their lives.
Yeah.
Because even if you see XYZ looks like perfect, whatever, like it's typically not,
Right.
and I think I'm starting to learn that and remind myself of that every day.
I know. It's kind of like you also have to cheer on the people that look like they're doing amazing too.
Yes.
Because like maybe they are going through a great phase.
Yes.
And like you should be excited about that and proud for them.
Yep. And what do they say?
It's like let them.
Yeah,
let them do that.
Yes.
And then you can.
It works that way too.
Yeah.
And what's our favorite quote? Rising tides lift all boats.
Oh my gosh.
That was the best.
That was a good one.
That guy, we had a call with a guy, just like an informational call a long time ago. And he whipped out every saying on that call that was like cheesy workplace settings, like putting out fires and da-da-da. And it was like rising tides lift all boats. And I don't think I'd ever heard that until he said it.
But I love it.
I love it too. And now we say it all the time.
Yeah.
But that kind of is that theory of like cheer on. If someone is doing
the
something.
hype girl.
Yeah. Yes. Be the hype girl. Here we are hyping you up to feel good about if things aren't looking good one day, to continue to be the hype girl.
I mean, I think it's also okay to like moan in your sorrows for a little bit, to like mourn a little bit. Yes. Be like, okay, this happened.
Yeah.
How do we move on from here?
Yes.
You know, like you have to like.
You're really good at that. You are. Yep. Yeah.
It's hard though.
It's
you
really
need to
hard.
like, because you can really mourn in them too long. I think it's like you need to be able to do it and then move on.
Yeah, exactly.
And figure out how to, and we've done this from the beginning though, like take each negative and turn it into a positive.
Yes.
Like, use it as a learning and how to move forward.
Yes, which I think like some of the stuff that we got hit down with last week, we're looking at now as a positive.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are.
And it was really hard. Yeah.
It was really hard.
And it took a few days to look at it as a positive.
It did. It took a few
time.
Family arguments. It took some time.
Guys, it did. Like it did. We hashed it out.
But here we are.
But here we are.
Moved on.
Like
it's still not over yet.
No. Not over yet. Still some things to work through. It's still more time.
Yes.
It didn't just click overnight or, in that second, like, how do we make this positive? Oh, it's a positive. No.
Yeah.
It took 2 to 3 days of hashing it out and like drilling down to like the problem and then coming out with the positive
steps and like a solution.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then, in those 2 to 3 days, you're like in the dumps and you're just like, God. And then you go on Instagram and you're like, wait, we're really, we can't get it together.
My dog got sick. My son slipped on ice running to the bus the same morning. I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
All of that happened. It's so true. All of that happened.
I had to clean up dog poop all over my carpet. I'm like, this is not what I need this morning.
I feel like something else happened to me too. I can't think of it, but it's like why are there times like that where you're like, what next?
Yeah.
Like what next? Oh my God. The dog getting sick
tearing up a little bit.
Yeah. The dog getting sick really just is the nail in the coffin. Yeah. Like you're like, this has to be it, right? This has to be the most annoying thing.
But maybe it takes those other things to like make you laugh about it.
Yes. I know. Like those moments where you're like cleaning.
It can't get any worse than this. So now
you're
we
like
just have to
gagging
laugh.
at the smell and you're like, oh my God, this is really bad. Why'd I get a dog? First of all, we love our dogs, but like those moments you're like, this happened. Anyway. Yeah. So I think that the lesson and all that is like, to your point, keep cheering on those who are doing well. And also know that like not everyone has like a perfect thing, like we're all dealing with something behind the scenes. So I don't know. I just love that reminder, and it makes me feel grounded to think about that. Like in the moments of like real challenging things, to kind of like come to peace with that and find a positive in it.
Sorry, just to like, when you're cheering on the people that are doing well, I think it's like being supportive of them, but also like taking it internally and saying, they're there. We've been there before. We can get back to that.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Like it's possible. Yes. Like we're going to work through this. Yes. It's so true. I know. And it's so important to remember that, I think, as we're navigating all of this, as we're running a company, to just like stay grounded in that and remember it.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And, the topic, if it's relevant to entrepreneurship, I think it is. I mean, I think, you get so passionate and excited about your idea and your company. And when things are going so well, it's like, it goes back to another quote that Dad always said. You're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are.
Right.
Like stay humble.
Yeah.
So like when you think you're good,
it could, the rug could be pulled from under you the next day.
Yeah. And you're not that good. It's like, you might think you're great, but really it's like you have to like kind of remind yourself of that. All right. Well, anything else that we want to talk about? I think the rate and review thing, I just want to keep that out there.
I mean, I feel like we're getting a lot of momentum on the podcast.
We are.
We had great
3,000 downloads ish, and like with YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely. And last week's episode was really good. So listen to that.
Yeah. And send us guest ideas.
Yeah.
And topic ideas too. I mean, I think like what I love about this podcast too is like thinking about what we're dealing with every week and discussing it. And, this like grass is always greener thing, like that came from like a really challenging business thing that, we don't need to like dive into the details, but like, I don't know. I think that there's always a way to figure something out. To your point of like, how do we make this? And you are so good at that and saying that. And I feel like also what I realized too this morning, and I sent you an email at 6 a.m., which I do sometimes, like how do we get back, and I hate this word, but how do we get back to like the hustle?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can swallow, like you said, and mourn and like get frustrated, but then you got to get back to it.
It's
like
true.
You just have to hop
I think you can
back
take
on the
that
horse.
That's good advice for everyday life.
Yes. And it's so hard to like get back into the hustle, like, and get back to, because we're a retail company, right? We have to sell.
Yeah.
Like so if we're not selling, like we're not growing and moving product and reaching new women that might love our brand. Like, so it's like,
got to keep it going.
You have to keep it going. And so I had another idea. Oh, and the idea this morning, which I do want to share, is about our custom and corporate program.
Oh yeah. I wanted to share that too. Good
okay,
call.
good. Yeah. So we have an amazing custom and corporate teams, clubs program where we monogram things. We can monogram pretty much anything, any style.
Yeah. Embroider with the brand logo or club logo or, mascot, whatever it is that you have.
Yep. And we can do large orders, which we need time for, obviously. We can do small one-off orders of 10 pieces or so. And it's so much fun. And men and women who were getting order. We just had a really large order from a very large corporation that we're not allowed to say. But it is an insane
men's
order.
And women's.
Men's and women's.
Mostly men's, actually. Which
like
is
pretty much a game changer for our custom corporate program this year. So I feel like there's so much momentum behind this for us. And so I want to keep talking about that.
Yeah, I know. We should. I mean, we've done like hockey team moms.
Yes.
We've done figure skating
like
team
football.
moms. We've done,
football moms.
Football moms.
Yeah, soccer moms.
Soccer moms.
Yep.
So everything from your local team to big banks.
Yes,
so
we can do
keep
anything.
Us in mind.
Yeah, but keep us in mind because it's such a good, and especially for women that are listening to this that may work at a corporation like a big bank or something and doesn't want to get that standard
Midtown uniform.
The Midtown uniform for the ladies. You want a chic turtleneck instead, guys, with your company logo.
Do the Catalina.
You could get this done.
Right.
I mean, the options are endless. And my husband every year gifts them to his company, to his team members. And he constantly texts me 2 or 3 guys in the office every day are wearing a Dudley Stevens because
it's addicting.
It's addicting. And like even the men. So it's the best gift you could give your employees, I think, if you're at a bank or you want to suggest it to your boss because you work in finance or something and you don't want the best.
Yeah. So
anyway,
reach out to us and we
spread the word.
Spread the word. Yep.
Okay, great. So see, we're hustling.
We're hustling.
We're selling.
We got to sell.
We got to keep selling. Anyway, okay, I think that's all for today.
I think that's it. Yeah, I know. This was a good, nice, quick little.
Yes, quick little car ride conversation.
Yeah.
And sometimes I listen to podcasts times 2.
Oh,
and it, sounds kind of funny.
To us.
But it's short.
Speed.
Double the speed. And if you have a 15-minute car ride, double the speed. Our laugh sounds really bizarre, but it definitely is a good way to listen to podcasts and get lots in. So, anyway, happy Monday, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Yeah,
Thanks everyone.
Thanks everybody.
Bye.